There comes a moment that almost no one speaks about. Not because it is rare, but because it feels too much like betrayal to admit out loud. It is the moment you realize you can no longer rescue everyone. Not because you have stopped loving them, not because you have become hardened, but because somewhere along the way, you recognize that you have been carrying a weight that was never yours to carry. For much of my life, I believed that love meant staying. Staying through the excuses, staying through the chaos, staying through the promises that never became change. Staying because I could see who someone might become if only they could see it too. I don't regret loving people that deeply, but I have begun to question what I believed love was asking of me. Somewhere inside many of us is an unspoken agreement we make with life. We tell ourselves that if we are patient enough, understanding enough, generous enough, forgiving enough, perhaps another person will finally find their way. We keep explaining, we keep hoping, we keep giving one more chance, because we convince ourselves that the next conversation will be the one that changes everything. It is a beautiful belief. It is also one of the most painful. Because there comes a day when you discover that transformation cannot be borrowed. It cannot be gifted. It cannot be loved into existence by another human being. Every soul must eventually decide whether it is ready to leave behind what has become familiar, even when what is familiar is the very thing causing its suffering. For a long time, I thought the grief would come from losing people. It didn't. The grief came from losing the version of myself that believed I was somehow responsible for saving them. She believed that carrying another person's burdens was compassion. She believed that making herself endlessly available was love. She believed that if someone continued to struggle, perhaps she simply hadn't found the right words yet. I understand her now. I have compassion for her. But I also know she was exhausted. Without realizing it, I had allowed other people's lives to occupy the space where my own life had been quietly waiting. Their emergencies became my priorities. Their pain became my responsibility. Their choices became my endless internal conversations. While I was busy trying to help everyone else find their way, I had wandered farther and farther from my own. Perhaps that is the hardest lesson of all. Not that people suffer. We all suffer. It is recognizing that there are moments when another person continues choosing the very patterns that keep them where they are. Not because they are weak, not because they deserve it, but because no one can choose awakening on behalf of another soul. There are thresholds each of us must cross alone. No amount of love can walk through them for us. For a long time, I thought stepping back meant giving up. Now I wonder if there is a difference between abandoning someone and releasing the belief that their healing depends upon you. One closes the heart. The other finally tells the truth. Love does not disappear simply because you stop carrying what was never yours. Hope does not disappear. Compassion does not disappear. What disappears is the illusion that another person's life can become your life's work. And then something unexpected begins to happen. The energy that was forever flowing outward slowly begins to return. You remember the dreams that waited patiently while someone else's crisis took center stage. You remember the conversations you never had with yourself because you were always having them with someone else. You remember that your own life has been standing just beyond the edge of everyone else's, waiting for you to come home. Perhaps this is what maturity really is. Not becoming less compassionate, but becoming more honest about what belongs to you and what does not. Perhaps love was never asking us to carry another person's destiny. Perhaps it was asking us to witness it with an open heart, to offer what we genuinely could, and then to trust that every soul has a path that cannot be walked by anyone else. I don't know that this is the easier way. In many ways, it is the harder one, because laying down the weight of another person's life also means picking up the responsibility for your own. But perhaps that has been the invitation all along. To stop confusing sacrifice with love. To stop mistaking exhaustion for compassion. To stop believing our worth is measured by how many people we manage to save. Maybe the deepest expression of love is not rescuing at all. Maybe it is standing with an open heart for as long as truth allows, blessing another person's journey when it no longer belongs in your hands, and finally having the courage to return to your own. If something in this spoke to you, you can go deeper with the full written piece on Substack at tendingtheinbetween.substack.com.